Now we are going to see some data mining tasks like unsupervised learning, segmentation, clustering, partitioning, all these things. So we'll focus on the clustering. The clustering groups are nothing but form the clusters which having a similar data either by syntactic way or semantic way. We have unsupervised learning, segmentation and the partitioning under the clustering. So let us define what is clustering. It is nothing but the partitioning the data into set of clusters, whereas the clusters are very much similar to each other with some having under some properties. It can be very effective if the data is clustered, and there are many choices of clustering. We have many clustering algorithms that we are going to see. This is the example of clustering. Just see here, we have three clusters. This is one cluster, this is second cluster, and this is third clusters. We can say that this cluster, all the tuples are of same category or they are related to each other, whereas there are three more outliers or three more samples which are not coming any under clusters, so you are specifying them as a outlier. Now for classification maps the data into predefined groups or classes, and we can do this with the supervised learning, pattern recognition and the prediction. Another task is a regression. It is used to map a data item into a real valued prediction variable. Just see here, we have a salary which is going to change according to his job profession, but his age is not going to change, so age is considered as a real value variable. So you are going to compare the age with the salary and you are going to plot the graph. Now the next thing is the data integration. What is the meaning of data integration? It combines the data from multiple sources into coherent stores. For that purpose we are supposed to use the schema integration. And what is the schema integration? It is integrated metadata from different sources. We are going to collect the data from the different sources and we are going to form the integration based on that. Now how to separate out the data and how to solve the data value conflicts. Likewise, just have an example of Mr. S.A. Dikshit or this Suhas Dikshit. It may refer to the same person or it may refer to a different person, but based on the other properties like the profession, like the address, we can separate them out. Otherwise we can make one record and we can remove the another record. Now the data transformation, what we have in data transformation, the smoothing, aggregation and the generalization. In smoothing, it removes the noise from the data. Aggregation, the summarization and the data group constructions, and the generalization, the concept of hierarchy climbing. In the case of data transformation, we are supposed to work with normalization. What is in normalization? It's nothing but the mean max normalization, z-score normalization and the normalization by the decimal scaling. We have the attribute feature constructions. The new attributes are constructed from given ones. This is the example of normalization. This is the formula for the normalization. V bar is equal to V minus mean A divided by max A minus mean A. New underscore max A minus new underscore mean A plus new mean A. And the z-core normalization is the same thing, that is V dash is equal to V minus mean A upon stand underscore deviation A. This is the formula for the decimal scaling. So what is we have as a summarization? It maps the data into subsets with the associated symbols, that is some descriptions, the characterization and the generalization. The next thing is the data extraction, selection, construction and the compression. The extraction features, we are supposed to extract the data from that particular database. According to our need, we are going to select the features. Then we are going to form the features, we are going to make the cluster, we are going to make the classification according that. Then we are going to make a compression on that. This is all about the thing. We are going to divide them according to the classes. We are going to identify the classes. If A1 and A2 are of the same category, we are going to identify them according to the classification rule, and then we are going to form a tuple. The data compression, it is nothing but if only this limited manipulation is possible, you are supposed to make the compression. It is there may be example of the audio video compression, with the lossy compression, etc. Sometimes the small fragments of a signals can be reconstructed without the reconstructing the whole, so definitely the compression is going to use. Then in the case of data compression, just see here, we have the original data, we have the original approximate data, and we have the compressed data. We are going to retrieve the data from that particular compressed data. There are so many reduction techniques are available. Means instead of having a big data, you can have a groups, and the groups may have some tuples. You can remove that tuples. The method is known as the sampling that we are going to see today. The parametric methods are also there. Assume that the data fits the same model, estimate model parameters, store only the parameters, and discard the data. Log linear model, obtain the value at a point. And then in non-parametric methods, we don't have any models. The example is histogram, clustering, and the sampling. The histogram is nothing but a popular data reduction technique. We are going to form the buckets and the store average. Just see out here. Example of the histogram is over here. And we have two kinds of histogram. There is the equal width histograms and the equal depth histograms. In equal width, it divides the range of n intervals into equal size, and in equal depth, it divides the range into n intervals, each containing the approximately same number of samples. We optimally consider all histogram types of a given number of buckets and chooses that one with the least variance, max difference. After sorting the data to be approximated, it defines the borders of the bucket at the points where the adjacent values have the minimum difference. Just see out here example. We have these kind of data, and we are supposed to make the buckets. So we are going to make the buckets according to this, because we are going to find out the largest difference. We have 1 1, 1 4, difference is 3, 4 5, difference is 1, 5 5, difference is 0, 5 7, difference is 2, and 7 9, difference is 2, 9 14, we have difference around the 5. So this is the largest difference, 5. Again 14 16, 2, 16 18, again 2, and 2 is less than 5, so we are not going to have, this is the largest difference. Again between the 18 and 27, we have 9 samples difference. So again 27 33, 30 30 0 through. So this will be one bucket. This will be one bucket, and this will be one bucket. So you have a 3 kinds of bucket. It is bucket number 1, it is bucket number 2, and it is bucket number 3, just like this. Then the hierarchical reduction is another thing, that is an index tree hierarchy divides a dataset into partitions by value range of some attributes. Each partition can be considered as a bucket. Thus the index tree with aggregate stored, each node is hierarchical histogram. Sampling, whenever you have a large data, it is not convenient that to have the entire data. We are supposed to have some representatives as a subset of the data, and it is referred as the sampling. So many sampling methods are available, like the stratified sampling. It approximates the percentage of each class in overall database and used in conjunction with the skewed data. Sampling may not reduce the database input output. This is one, you are having this sampling. It is not like that. Whenever you are taking, if there is a one function and you are having the sampling, it may not be valid for the second function. So every time you are supposed to do the sampling according to the need and the condition. Just see out here. Then the link analysis, it uncovers the relationship according to the among the data. It finds out the relationship and the example of the association rule. The time series analysis, again, that is a stock market is always related to the time, always related to the day, and always related to the event. So it is a good example of time series analysis. In next lecture we will see the crediting process.